2 opportunities to join me on retreat this October. I will be in Texas, and there's 2 spots left, and outside of Portland, Oregon. There's a couple left for that as well. Welcome to your practice. We're going to begin standing. And it sounds like a simple instruction, but let's make it a little bit more nuanced. So press down through the balls of your feet and the heels of your feet. Look down and lift your toes. And then see if you can spread your toes as wide as you can. I can't really spread my left toes, but I can my right. So just see what you're working with here. And try to make your feet as wide as you can and then place them back down. Maybe do that a few times. You can push back into the heels. Push down through the balls and then lift the toes. Spread them as wide as you can. Maybe even spread the hands to help. I have to look and think about it. And then back down. Soften the bend in the knees and then kind of push into the earth. Maybe at this point you can soften the eyes or let the eyes be closed and send your inner eyes down to your feet and really sense into this relationship between the feet and the ground, all the points of contact. But there's a softness in the knees and there's a little bit of a buoyancy, a little bit of a pushing down. And see if you can find the sense of a rebound, of your pushing down, and gravity is really pushing you into earth. But at the same time, earth is coming up to support you. So we're kind of receiving the ground here. There's a little bit of this rebound, as if there was a little bit of buoyancy happening here. Yeah, so feel that in the system. And maybe you can let that little bit of a bounce travel through the body. Just a little pulse. Just a little pulse. And you can bring your inner eye, your awareness to your breath. And then any other impulse to move, to sway. And then hands to heart center. Actively press hand into hand with the same strength and tactility that the feet are touching and pushing into the earth. Push hand into hand in the same way. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh out. Once more. Inhale, deep breath in. And exhale, sigh out. Soft bend in the knees. Next inhale, lift the arms up, 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 up. And then exhale, pour forward. Maybe you hinge at the hips and the throat stays open and the heart pours you down. Pouring down. Soft bend to the knees. Push through the feet. Push through the balls and the heels and the toes. And then you'll begin to round the back as you lift up. So we'll do this a couple times. And slowly the shoulders will roll back as the vertebrae stack on the spine. Turn the palms out, hands reach up. And then soft bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, the heart guides you down. And maybe the palms trace through center. Pour crown of head out. Soft bend in the knees, press through the feet. Round as you come up. And you'll do this 3 more times with your own breath, and maybe slow it down. Maybe if you find a spot of oof, that good hurt, you can stay there and breathe. When the spine stacks, the shoulders roll back, palms turn out and lift up, gaze up. And then pour down. You'll find a rhythm in your body. And you have the movement down, so can you kind of open your awareness to all the little subtle sensations, and maybe you can even note a few of them. That little bit of the openness in the collar, or the muscles on the sides of the spine speaking. The hamstrings breathing, getting some breath in the back body. Just practicing pouring and rising. and this pulse between the two. And the next time you come down, stay there. No rush. Next time you come down, though, stay there. And turn the palms up and let the upper body be lax, be open. And then a soft bend in the knees and lean forward into the balls of the feet just slightly. And just let gravity have you. A couple rounds of breath. Feeling what you feel. All right, planting the hands and slowly walk the feet back into a downward facing dog. Gaze at the hands and spend the same amount of time in awareness, pressing the kind of balls of the hands down and the pad of the hand, the thumb pad of the hand, and lifting the fingers up, spreading them wide and then planting them back down. There'll be a scooping up of the center of the palm. And as if you could kind of suction, like you had straws in your arms and you were suctioning through the center of your palm. See what that feels like. So both in the feet and in the hands, there's places that press down into ground, and then there's places where you receive. And maybe rocking side to side, wagging the tail. And listen to how the body's speaking here. And spread the feet as wide or wider than the mat. Spread the hands wide or wider than the mat. And maybe walk them back just slightly. Right hand to left calf or ankle. Just gazing under the armpit. And switching sides. Big audible breath. And then come back into a little bit of a wider downward dog where you just came from. All right, you can gaze forward and you're going to take a step forward with the with the right foot, but only about halfway up the mat. About halfway up the mat, and bend both knees very deeply. You can tuck the chin into the chest, and we're going to roll up the same way that we were rolling in the very beginning in a forward fold. You can let the hands, the arms just come along with, and you'll slowly roll up. The spine will stack, and then the shoulders roll back. Yeah. Palms open up. And then as if you're lifting the air up, and you can lean back just slightly, you can lift the air up. Hands above the head and rock and roll the wrists slightly. And both knees are bent here. And then exhale, slowly let the arms yield down so they don't just drop down, but slowly you're just releasing them down. Releasing them down by the sides. Yeah. And then lean over to the right as if your hands and your whole right side body got really, really heavy and you're leaning to the right, and you'll feel the body quiver just a little bit because it's finding its balance. And maybe left hands graze up left side body, left side ribs, just to open and breathe on the left side. And then come back to center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. This time the left side gets really heavy, heavy, heavy. Heavy, heavy. Give yourself space and time and feel the body calibrate. Right hands trace up right side body. And come back to center. Do this once more. Get heavy on the right side. Left hand traces up and maybe it lifts all the way up to sky this time. Breathe in the ribs and slowly yield that arm down. So you're just slowly bringing it down, and then switch sides. Get really heavy left side body. Graze up the right rib cage. Open, open, open. And come back to center. Swoop the arms forward and you'll bring them up and over the head, and we can do that a couple times. You kind of halo around the head. Swoop them forward, up and over. Once more. Forward, up and over. This time lengthen the front leg very, very slowly. And then push the hands out to the sides as if you were a tightrope walker and you were holding this balance stick. So you're lengthening both legs now. You're hinging at the hips and the heart's leading you forward like you did when we were pouring forward in standing position. And very slowly, as slow as you can, come down into a pyramid, but let it be dramatically slow. And then find a shape and explore inside or outside of that shape. The asana, the shapes are just tools. They're just like little points where we can kind of be on the same page, but we're not meant to all be moving the same. They give us a little proprioception, a little cartography. And then feel what you feel here. Maybe you play with lifting the front toes or lifting the back heel. You can switch side to side or any other way you'd like to explore here. Rippling the spine. All right, and then planting the hands and come all the way, drag the right foot all the way up and back into a tripod down dog. Push through the hands, suction through the palms, and then bring right foot down to meet the left. Let's roll forward plank pose. Stay here for a moment. Pressing down through the palms, but also receiving ground through the palms. Come all the way down to the earth, however you'd like to get there. Untuck the toes. Hands go wide, chin to chest, 3 ripples of the spine. Incremental, spacious. Getting a little longer on front body each time. Collarbone widens. And then the hands draw down by the ribs. And find your way back downward facing dog. And then place the feet and place the hands mindfully, finding the spaces of connection and the spaces of space. And gaze forward. Left foot comes forward, but not all the way. It's a bit shorter. Bend both knees, tuck chin to the chest as you slowly roll up. Spine begins to stack. The shoulders roll back, palms roll out, and then lift the arms. Gaze follows, throat opens. Rock and roll the wrists, maybe at the elbows, anything that feels nice here. Exploring the space around the shape. And then let the hands slowly pour down. Yeah, be sure that you're on train tracks here, and we're going to do the same thing side to side and feel the quiver of the body and really invite that in. It's the body finding where it is in space. It's proprioceptive practice. So get really heavy on left side body. Really heavy in the head, in the hands, and the shoulder. And then breathe into right side. And come back to center. Maybe you move slower or faster than me. Pouring onto the other side, and maybe the opposite hand grazes the ribs. And coming back to center. This time, you're pouring to the left side, but maybe the right hand grazes the ribs and come all the way up. Really breathe into right side body, and then when you're ready, come back to center. Once more, other side. And the legs, while quivering slightly, mine are for sure, they're providing this architecture so that we can explore wider spaces on the top part of the body. Come back to center. Yeah. And let's bring the arms forward and back over the head, pretty dramatic here. And there's a rippling of the spine. So you can find that undulation. Yeah. And then the last time you can lengthen the front leg. Lengthen the front leg and find that tightrope walker, pushing the hands out. And there's a quiver in the arms. You're really finding some strength and some quiver here. And then the heart comes forward. Hinge at the hips and let the heart guide you forward. Yeah, slowly, slowly, slowly pour forward. And you'll find a pyramid-esque shape and then explore within and outside of it. Maybe noting a few sensations that you feel here. And there's always so much happening in this sensory landscape. And some things are the loudest, and some things are more subtle. And then push down into the hands. Left leg comes up and back. Tripod down dog. Push through the hands, get really long from wrists all the way to the left toes. And then slowly bring left foot down to meet the right. Let's lift the heels, wave forward, plank pose. Stay a couple rounds of breath here. Slowly find earth. Untuck the toes. Hands go wide. And 3 ripples of the spine. Downward facing dog. Full round of breath as you arrive. And then slowly, mindfully walk the hands back to the feet. Forward fold. Full round of breath. Bend the knees, press through the feet as you slowly, slowest as you have thus far, roll the spine up. Feel what's lifting and feel what's pouring forward, what's being pulled up and being pulled down. We always have this equal opposition happening, and the shoulders will roll back. Palms face out. And then for a moment, find that buoyancy again in the body and the feet. Feel the places where you're pushing down and the places where you're receiving ground. And knowing that this is always happening, yeah? Gravity anchors us to earth, but that earth is always coming back up to support. And this beautiful, buoyant reciprocity. And then any kind of more shakes or movement that you'd like to do. Hands to heart center. And 3 big sighs to close. Inhale. Beautiful. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'll catch you next time on your mat.